Yeah, my name is Piotr, and today we will talk about machine learning. Thank you for choosing this talk. Okay, so agenda for today. Basically, I will tell a few words how I started. Then we'll have a lot of demos and some description of what is today available for developers or for business customers in machine learning world. Okay, so why I started digging into machine learning. So basically, I heard about it around seven years ago at the university. And at that time, it was a very interesting topic, but there was no tools, and I quickly abandoned it. Then, after 7 years, there was a DEVCON last year, which was very interesting DEVCON, mostly because of two talks. One was Brian Chan, who presented his vision about why we live in simulation, and Jorge Ferrer, who presented, who did an abstract of all the machine learning options. And actually, after these two talks, I started to think that actually it's a very powerful chapter in IT, and started to digging, learning, and my last year was almost all my free time I focused on developing models and learning new technologies related to machine learning and artificial intelligence. Okay, so let's start with some simple use case, because machine learning is a big word, but there is not much real-life use cases. So let's start with some very, very simple one, which is webcam JavaScript-based solution that simply can track your movement. So basically, I will turn on my webcam. Okay, so my webcam is activated. So from now on, I can navigate this presentation with my hand. Just a second. So, but I won't do it. It's a bit annoying if I will wave my hand to hold the presentation. But I think basically JavaScripts and image processing frameworks were not so interesting for me. But actually, after some investigation, it's a very, very, very deep topic. You can build a lot of stuff, and for example, this navigation through the web camera can be used for navigating on YouTube, changing the volume, changing the songs or the videos, whenever we cannot reach our laptop or mouse. Okay, so this is simple JavaScript called just.js, and it simply tracks our movement left, right, top, bottom. I won't focus much on it. I just wanted to show that there are very simple and light solutions that you can use in your projects. Basic overview of these products. So we have OpenCV, very popular for computer vision. I think everybody's familiar with the topic computer vision. OpenFace is also very interesting, a JavaScript-based and Python solution. We have Tracking.js that was developed by Eduardo Lundgren, who is in Liferay. Yeah, and we have, for example, Guest.js. So those four here are all the solutions that are working in the browser. They are pretty popular. There is a vibrant community, so there are many threads about how to use it and how to apply it. Okay, there is the real machine learning actually is on this page. So we have the framework of TensorFlow, Inception, Inception is a algorithm, train algorithm for image recognition. So it's developed by Google, and basically Google trained this model with around 200,000 images, and from now on everybody can use it. It's public, and you can download it and start applying your use cases. Okay, we have Tesseract, so it's optical character recognition. We can read letters from the images. And of course, we have Spark and TensorFlow. So those are two main, let's say, compliant solutions. So Spark is a Java-based, and TensorFlow is a Python-based solution. Okay. As I said, 7 years ago, it wasn't that easy. Today, actually, machine learning is very popular, and there's a lot of information on the internet. So basically, the approach that I'm using and most of the people are using is simply we collect the data, we build model, train it, and then we start using it in our applications. Not complex, but every part needs to have proper tools for this. And Liferay is a good solution for collecting data and executing the model. And of course, the middle layer, we need to delegate to some dedicated software, like TensorFlow or Spark or other solution. Yeah, so why Liferay is good for machine learning? Modularity. So first of all, we can plug our data collectors wherever we want. On login, on view, on edit, on delete, on every action. Since we have OSGI, it's much easier, and we can do it more generic way. So we don't have to think about one portlet. We can build a solution that will cover all the use cases in all portlets. And yeah, the function of executing the model is also very simple. So we have a whole bunch of possibilities in Liferay to plug our model and fine-tune the user web usability or business use cases. Okay. Yeah, this is what I said. So basically, we have Liferay to collect data. To train, we have Spark or TensorFlow. And to execute model, we go back to Liferay, and we use it. Okay, so now let's start with demos. Okay, first I will show you one application that I built that makes my life easier. So I call it Online SDK. Basically, it's a portlet that allows you to execute Groovy scripts or HTML. So maybe I will quickly add it to my page. Okay, so as you can see, we have simple text editor where I can write hello DEVCON, and I can name this application DEVCON 1. I can save it. Okay, and so from now on we can use this. We can use this application. It's not related to machine learning, but I am using it also for machine learning because I work very often on the train, and whenever I need to connect to the server, I need to execute some machine learning scripts or whatever. I use this application, and we can add it as many as we want. There's a basic configuration when we have a list of all the scripts. Yeah. Okay, so let's go back to machine learning. So we start with Inception. Okay, so as I said, Inception is a model, train model for image for object recognition in the images. Okay, so let's try to upload a sample document or image to document library. Okay. Okay, so let's take this. This image is image without any metadata, simply called sample.jpg. Okay, let's publish it. Okay, and let's go back to our script. I don't know if it's visible. Let's make it bigger. Oh. Okay, so it's basically a Groovy script that will connect to Inception client that I have on my local machine. Then this client will pass the image to the Inception serving. Then we have the TensorFlow with Inception will process it. We will return information about this image. Okay, so let's execute it. Oh, actually, I think I'm. Oh yeah, it's the wrong name. So thank you. So let's save it. Okay. Okay, so we have the output. Okay, so we have 5 top terms that were assigned to this image. Okay, and the first one is Beagle, and actually it's right. So this is like a simple use case where we can extract the metadata from nowhere, actually, because there was no information that this is a dog and it's a Beagle. So let's go to a real-life use case. So basically, here I have a script that process more documents and do more things. Okay, let's upload more. Let's upload more documents. I think this Zoom. Oh, okay. Yeah. Documents and media. Okay. So from now on, we have our 5 images. All are simple or are called sample. So we have no metadata. And let's go to our script. Okay, let's execute it. Okay, so basically now we do more or less the same thing. We connect to Inception with our documents. Inception will give us the keywords. Then with these keywords, we will create a folders with the top keyword name will be the folder name. And then we will move these documents to these folders. Okay, so we have the output, and we can see that the image was moved to folder Beagle, second was moved to banana, and the third was moved to mountain bike. Okay, so let's check. We go to documents and media, and we have 3 folders. And inside is dog. So in banana, we have banana, and we have bike inside, yes. Okay, so this is just a demo, and it can be used for many purposes. We can train our own Inception. So basically, Inception is a very general model. So you have every kind of images that you can imagine. But for the companies, you can focus on a specific elements and train it for this purpose. So you can, for example, you can scan specific labels, and Inception will process it and will give you the proper categories. Okay, So this is basically Inception, very quickly. Just overview of the architecture on my Mac. So we have a Docker with the Inception, then Inception client on my machine, and then Liferay also on the mine machine, on this one where we have presentation. Okay, let's move forward. Okay, so now we will go to Tesseract. So as I said, it's a character recognition. Character recognition. Okay, so I have a new scope for Tesseract. Okay, and we will do the same thing. We will upload a new document. Multiple documents. And we have document 1 and document 2. Okay. As you can see, the documents can have different format. So it's not only JPEG or PNG. Okay. So we have, again, 2 documents with no metadata. We can just quickly look at them. Yeah, like we don't see much. Yeah, we can see that this is invoice, right? And the second document, we can see that it's a certificate. Okay, so with Tesseract, let's go to our SDK. Yes. Okay, so we will do more or less the same thing. Let's execute it. Now we connect to Tesseract with these 2 documents, and then we retrieve the meta keywords that were generated based on this. And we can see that we have invoice and certificates. Okay, so this script also moves those documents into the specific folders. So if we go now to content, documents and media. So we have now 2 folders. Invoices, we have our invoice. And we have certificates, and here is our certificate. I think this is the one of the most useful framework for character recognition. And I see plenty of use cases where it can be used. Even digitalization, when we want to move documents from the paper into the cloud or whatever, we need to process them. This is good to use. And it has a pretty good community. You can also find many other use cases. Okay, let's go back. Okay. Okay. I will present now demo of Liferay and TensorFlow. I decided to move from Spark to TensorFlow, so I need to update this slide. Okay. This is more complex demo, and it's about TensorFlow will track our navigation and then will predict the future, what steps we want to do in the future. Basically, this is the holy grail of machine learning, to predict the future. And TensorFlow and Spark are the main programs that we use for that. Okay, so let's go to our website. I created a special site which is called Bank. I mostly work in banks, and what I notice is that customers don't like to use automatic orders. So, okay, why can't we simply do it step by step, but automatic? So basically, user, whenever automatic order is executed, user doesn't know what happened, and this is why they are not trustful, and they don't want to use some kind of functionality. So basically, let's try to build a model. Let's try to train model for this use case. Okay, I need to turn on my bundle, which is here. Okay, activate. Okay, so now on the bottom we see those two checkboxes. Okay, and let's go to the bank side. The goal of this demo is to show the whole process, how I collect the data, how I train the model, and then how I execute it. It's still work in progress. It's not the production version, but it will just give you overview how to approach some topics. Okay, so now I will okay, so basically I will keep the log visible so we can see what's happening. Okay. Okay, so before we start, in this use case, I will use recurrent neural networks that is used also for natural language processing. So what I want to achieve, we often see programs that helps you to write text. So if you, for example, you use Messenger, Facebook Messenger, you write some word and it suggests you another one. So I was thinking, okay, why can't we apply this to navigation? So if user visits a specific page and does a specific action, why can't we suggest user to do another action that he probably wants to do? But I don't want to do it automatically. I want user to be conscious about it. So, okay, I will present it soon. Okay, so let's prepare our environment. Okay, so this is a file, a training file that I will now make empty. And here we will store all the user behavior. Okay, so now, as we can see, it's empty. Let's go back to our page. And let's start a record user behavior. Okay, so I click here. Okay, from now on, whatever I do, it's recorded. Of course, it's filtered because I want to record only specific actions. And then it's stored in our training file. Okay, so let's do a typical use case. We will go through all these pages. So, okay, I want to do payment. I want to pay for electricity. I do transfer. Then I want to pay for the internet. I do transfer. We can see that in log, everything is registered. Okay, let's go to assets, contact, profile, and yeah, let's go back to home. Okay, now I stop recording, and now we can go to our file. So, okay, all the behavior was recorded. Basically, I just record 2 steps, but this is a generic solution. You could build multi-step predictions. So each step is a navigation URL, and you can think about it like a sentence. So whenever you say, I am hungry, I will eat a hamburger, you can see the connection. You won't say, I am hungry, I will eat car. So basically with navigation in this model is the same. I try to find the connection between the URLs, how they will be used usually. But this is only per user. Okay, so now we have our model trained, just the data. So now it's time to train our model. Okay, yeah, so now we will, do we have this? Yeah. Okay, so now I activate the prediction mechanism. Okay. Okay, so basically we can see in log that every action is triggering testing. So as you can see, now I pass 2 arguments to the prediction function, and it will try to predict my next step. But this is a stupid use case because I am just on the homepage. We will try to do it when I do a step towards payments. Okay, so we have our answer. Yeah. So let's go now to payments. Just clean this. Okay. I went to payments. What's happening now? Basically, we have an AJAX call to Liferay with the current history. So what I did, this is passed to TensorFlow, and then TensorFlow, based on our training file, will try to predict what is my next step. So basically, you can see that it's very slow because I didn't do a serving part. Basically, I initiate the whole TensorFlow per click. This is why we have a long response. But we can see that the prediction is that I will go to internet paid, which is actually not exactly what we want. We want to first go to internet, and then we want to go to page that is paid. So basically, this didn't work as we expected because it's a very small model, very small training data. But maybe the next step will be predicted properly. Let me just switch it off. Okay, and now let's try to activate. Okay, let's go to payments. Okay, so now we have another request. It will take some time, but basically, when you have the serving part, the responses are within milliseconds. So, yeah, I think I am out of time. So basically, I think we cannot wait for this response. I will just quickly go back to my presentation and just say a few words about efficiency. So nowadays, it's a shame to have efficiency below 99%. So whenever you post something that you have model that is working in 95% cases, it's actually nobody will use it. This data is a top 5 error rate for Inception. It's from 2015. Now we have version 3 of Inception, which is much higher. So it means that now we have around 99% efficiency for the image recognition, for example, for Inception. But many machine learning algorithms now have a very high efficiency. Okay, thank you. Any questions?
Thank you, Piotr. Does anyone have any questions?
Oh, thank you. I was wondering if do you also work that script? Does it work with multi-level or folders? So now it's just one full level of folders. Do you also are able to provide the documents in several folders?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Basically, you get a response from TensorFlow, and you have the accuracy of each word. So like you can try to build like hierarchy based on.
Okay.
Yeah.
And a second question I had, if I may. All right. How do you deal with files that actually have the same name? Is it because we had some issues with that as well in the document medians library?
The script that I did is simply Liferay API, so you can rename the file on the flow, on the fly.
So the user has to rename the file then, or yeah, okay, okay.
Any more questions?
It looks really promising, but did you already use this on production for some clients?
I would love to have more customers that wanna try in the production. We are doing researches with few customers how to proceed with the big data. Yeah, that's the state.
Okay, so about the learning frameworks, it looked like you were using some online services. Is there any model or learning framework that you could install locally with the Liferay, so without having any external connections?
Yeah, absolutely. You can install actually every. So you can install TensorFlow on your local machine. I just did it with Docker because it's a recommended way, because it's a big framework. It takes 6 gigabytes, the Docker image for TensorFlow. So if you want to do it on your local machine, yeah, but it takes a lot of resources.
Any more questions? Nope. Okay. Thank you, Piotr.
Thank you.